Greetings, Kryptonians! Welcome back to Moving Right Along, a Muppet movie podcast brought to you by toughpigs.com. This is the podcast where we watch Muppets from Space 2 minutes at a time and talk about it a lot. I'm your host, Ryan Rowe.
I'm your other host, Anthony Strand.
And hey, our guest from last week is back with us again. Guest, who are you?
Nanu, it's me, Joe Hennes from toughpigs.com.
Thanks for coming back.
Glad to be here. I beamed down, and now I'm on a podcast.
Yes.
Sci-fi stuff.
Keep them coming. Keep those references coming. And today you are here on the holodeck to talk about minutes 41 and 42 of Muppets from Space, in which Singer prepares Gonzo for a brain probe and Muppets ride in a bus. That's what happens in these 2 minutes. And we pick up here with K. Edgar Singer stepping behind Gonzo and putting his hands on Gonzo's shoulders. This shot is done with the camera down low, pointing up, so we can really see how much taller than Gonzo Singer is, and also just like makes him look really imposing and intimidating. He says, "It's a shame, really," and then he's aggressively massaging Gonzo's shoulders while saying, "We really need that information." And then he lets go, and Gonzo turns around. And I never noticed this before, but Gonzo starts stretching his shoulders back, like he's trying to, like, I guess, shake off Singer's touch or loosening up after that painful massage.
How does that work? Like, how does Dave Goelz do that?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's another puppeteer doing both arms. Yeah, I don't know, but it's a nice
like
little
running the arms in circles backwards or something.
I guess so, yeah, but it's a nice little detail that I'd never noticed before. Singer says, "I'm afraid we're going to have to perform an invasive quadrilobal brain probe on you and pluck it from your head."
Quadrilobal, 4 lobes.
Yes, exactly. 4 lobes.
4 lobes in Gonzo's brain. Do you guys remember the lobe from Freakazoid?
Yeah.
No.
I remember the lobe. It was what's his name?
David Warner.
David Warner.
It's the great David Warner as a supervillain on Freakazoid.
And he was just a guy whose head was a giant brain. That's it.
It's funny because I didn't even know we were going to be this off topic in the previous episode. When I wrote down in my notes, you guys want to talk about the lobe from Freakazoid.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Here we are.
But you got to say it.
What happened?
You got to say that like Ed Asner. Hey, you guys want to talk about the lobe in Freakazoid?
Hey, Freakazoid, it's Cosgrove. You want to get some donuts and talk about the lobe? They got bear claws. They got Bavarian. They got cream filled. How's that?
That was the best. That was a perfect Granny goodness.
Granny's very angry.
Nobody knows what we're talking about.
The DCAU again. There we go.
Oh, we're back, baby.
There it is. Yeah. Gonzo says the information, and Singer says, "No, your brain." And he says it like he's kind of annoyed that he has to do all this extra work to get the information that he thinks is in Gonzo's brain. So he tells the agents to take Gonzo away. Gonzo protests, "Hey, wait just a second. I need my brain." I think this could have been written a little bit differently.
You think?
Well, yeah, but because Gonzo traditionally loves pain. So if they had Singer say, "We're going to have to perform invasive surgery," Gonzo would probably initially like the sound of that. He would say like, "Oh, cool."
Yeah,
and then
I haven't
he could
had
tell
one of
him
those in a while.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
Skip the anesthesia. Let's go to town.
Right. Any of this. And then he could have found out, oh, it's going to be his brain. Whoops.
You know what also would have been fun here that I didn't think about until this very second is if they brought out the electronic cerebrectomy machine from the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't that have been a cool little Easter egg thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or even
just they could have brought out Mel Brooks.
Well, yeah, what's he doing in 1999? Yeah. He could have shown up.
He was probably working on The Producers, right? Didn't that premiere in like 01?
Oh, the Broadway show? Yeah, maybe.
He had time.
Yeah. I wonder what like the electronic cerebrectomy machine is one of those things I wondered. Does that prop still exist somewhere? Is it in a warehouse? Did they just trash it? I would like to know.
It's awfully big. I would be surprised if they still had it.
It probably
I hope someone
exist.
at least kept the electronic beanie.
The electronic beanie, yeah. I hope so. Then there's a wipe. We love our sci-fi wipes in this movie. To the next scene which is the Electric Mayhem bus driving down the highway.
And it
And
driving along with the sunset behind it, I think it looks really great. I think
it
that's a
does look
really
good.
nice shot.
Yeah. And as far as I know, this is the same Electric Mayhem bus from the Muppet movie, which I gather from reading the Muppet Wiki page called The Electric Mayhem Bus. I know we've talked about this in the Muppet movie season of this podcast, but that was a long time ago. I don't know if all this information was out there. Um, but it says in 1999, following the production of Muppets from Space, the original bus, so that I guess that means this is the one from the Muppet movie, was auctioned off on eBay for $50,000. That's quite a sale for eBay
Yeah,
to
really.
sell a bus on eBay.
But
Yeah.
also like 50,000 seems low, don't you think, for like the one and only Electric Mayhem
Yeah, I
bus?
guess if it's still drivable and everything, yeah, that does seem very low. In 2004, the bus was sold again on eBay and was purchased by Roger and Cindy Falsgraf of Staunton, Illinois. The Falsgrafs showcased the bus in local parades and events, including many charity events and several weddings between 2004 and 2009. Can you imagine having the Electric Mayhem bus at your wedding?
You know, speaking of weddings, Ryan, do you remember at my wedding, one of my other groomsmen was my friend Toby. You've met Toby.
Yes.
His last name is Falsgraf. Do you think he's related to these
I,
Falsgrafs?
I feel like he would have told you by now, but that is a very interesting coincidence.
I'm gonna call him tomorrow and ask him.
Have him go on ancestry.com and find out how far he removed he is from Roger and Cindy of Staunton,
Yeah.
Illinois. Does he have any relatives in Staunton, Illinois?
Well, so technically he lives in Chicago, but
Oh,
he didn't like grow up in Chicago. So
okay. But
I
he
don't
could
know. I don't
probably
know.
just take a little road trip and go visit them.
Yeah, I don't know how far from Chicago it is. How big could Illinois be?
Yeah.
Right?
How big
Just
could it
walk
be?
over.
Yeah. Just take a walk. Sure. Get on
Yeah.
his bike. It says apparently the Walt Disney Company was interested in featuring the bus in The Muppets Wizard of Oz, but they were unable to work out the logistics and a deal with the owners at the time. Roger Falsgraf tried reselling the bus in December 2008, which with an initial asking price of $12,000. That's a steal
Oh
right there.
man. Yeah, I
Yeah.
would have bought it for 12,000. I have
Uh,
$12,000, but I
We
would have
should have
tried.
done if only we'd known. I
we
had
should
no
have all
money.
chipped in. Yeah. However, no sale
I
was
was in
made.
grad school. I had no money.
No sale was made, and on July 25th, 2009, the bus went up in flames. And the source for that is
Whoa.
actually a post on the Muppet Central forum from Roger Falsgraf. So that's a sad ending to the original Electric Mayhem bus.
Dang. I wonder, was it
Yeah.
arson? Who would have done it?
Who
Who
would want to
who
set
out there?
fire to the Electric
Yeah.
Mayhem bus on purpose?
Yeah, I don't know.
Doc Hopper?
Yeah,
Yeah, Doc
it
Hopper
was
would do it.
Doc Hopper.
In 2010, Disney attempted to locate the original bus when they started production on the 2011 movie The Muppets, but by that point, the original had been destroyed, and thus a recreation was used in its place. So then we also know that they had a van for the Electric Mayhem for a while, which I think started with the 2015 sitcom. But of course, we know now also that in the Muppets Mayhem show, they brought back the bus, which was very cool to see. I don't know if it's the same recreation that they built for the 2011 movie. It would make a lot of sense if it was, but I don't know. But
I
anyway,
too do not know.
that's the history of the bus, and I hope they use it again in something.
I don't know what you guys watched. I didn't rewatch the clips leading up to this one. Is this the first time we're seeing the inside of the bus in this movie?
The inside,
Yes,
yeah.
Okay, so we're seeing the CDs on the ceiling for the first time
correct.
Yes.
because it's records in the Muppet movie and now it's
Right,
CDs,
Yeah,
yeah.
which I
it's
assume that they did is
45s.
in
Yeah,
a yeah, I feel like they did it in an attempt to be like more modern, as if the Electric Mayhem needs to be more modern. It looks awful. I hate
yeah,
having
it's
those
really
CDs.
stupid. Yeah,
It's like we
Uh,
only have 12 CDs. I don't know, like
oh.
hot glue them to the ceiling.
Well, those
I
were
think
the
that
ones
looks
that they could
like
get for
crap.
a penny from joining the Columbia Record Club. So, yeah, I don't remember. It must be back to records in the Muppets Mayhem show, right?
No, in Muppets Mayhem,
Oh, it's
isn't it
photos.
photos? Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what it is in the van. I assume that they kept the photos for the bus. Actually, that's actually a
yeah.
good
I don't
question. I don't know.
remember. I guess I'll have to watch Muppets Mayhem again. So who is in the bus? Well, it's not the Electric Mayhem, except for one. One of them is in the bus, but it's our Gonzo Rescue Squad. It's Kermit, Piggy, Animal, Pepe, and Fozzie who's driving. Pepe asks a question for the kids in the audience who have short memories. He says, "Hey, Fozzie, tell me again, why are we doing this?" Which I think most of us always like when Pepe mispronounces other Muppets' names.
Yeah,
And
it's fine.
Fozzie says, "To save Gonzo." Animal shouts, "Gonzo, Gonzo." And Kermit says, "That's right, because Gonzo's one of us. And no matter what happens, what obstacles we face, we never forget one of our own."
Guys,
So,
I'm sorry. All I can hear is JD during that scene. Like Kermit's like saying some boring platitude, and it's just
uh-huh.
like, oh, this is JD's Kermit bit, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
We're
So
doing it for
thanks,
our friends because it's all about
so
friendship. Yeah.
so
JD
thanks,
Hansel
JD. JD
doing
Hansel,
his impression
once
of
and
Steve
future guest
Whitmire's
on the
Kermit.
podcast. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think in this case, it actually works because it's about to be undercut by a punchline, which is that after they all agree enthusiastically, well, then Piggy says, "I love it when you take charge," which
Yeah, which is
seems,
hilarious. That's hilarious to me that she says that after that.
oh,
After
he's
Kermit
not
being
taking
like,
charge. Yeah.
he's not at all. He's just
No.
like, well, this is a thing.
But I
But
think
but
it's
that's what they should have leaned into is the same joke from the Muppet movie.
right.
Fozzie's driving, Gonzo took the belly flop on top of the car, but Kermit took the awesome role of command.
Yeah, I think it's a deliberate callback to that. I think that's why
Right.
they have Piggy say that.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
not a good enough callback that we immediately got it, but it is a callback.
it doesn't super make sense, but yeah, it's something. And Fozzie then says, "Hey, we left Bunsen and Beaker back at the gas station." There's something about Fozzie in this shot. I don't know if it's the way this particular puppet is built or the camera angle or the lens, but Fozzie just looks
Yeah.
really derpy in this shot.
It's a few things. Part of it is the camera angle. Like that camera is
Yeah.
like right up his nose, but he's also like holding onto the steering wheel and he's like an inch away from it. He's leaning way
Yes.
forward. So what I think is happening here, and I honestly have no idea, is that he's not actually at the front of the bus. Like the puppet's like in the first seat back, and that's
Hmm.
where the camera is. And so they're getting way up close to him so that it looks like he's driving, from the dash.
Uh,
Um, but yeah, it doesn't look good. And I
no.
think because they're so close, Fozzie can't move very far. Because
Yep.
number one, if he does, then he doesn't look like he's driving. And number two, there's so many characters behind him, he's going to cover somebody else up. So he's got to stay really still.
Yeah,
It's not great.
he kind of makes a hand gesture when he says this, and it just looks very awkward and
Yeah.
unnatural. Yeah, I do think it has probably something to do with where they maybe they just didn't have a lot of options on where to place the camera. Um,
Yeah.
so Kermit is only flustered by this for a second, and then he says, "Okay, from this point on, no matter what happens, we never forget one of our own."
Can we talk about the fact that there's only 5 other people in the bus besides Bunsen and Beaker? Like
Yeah.
they forgot 2/7 of their bus load at the gas
Yes.
station. Like this is not like it's the double-decker bus from Great Muppet Caper where it's
Right.
every single person staying at the hotel.
Right.
It's like there's only 5 other people,
Yeah.
which kind of makes it funnier to me. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah. No, I like this. I think this is
But
funny.
also, like, is there a reason why, like, we this movie started by being like, there are 300 Muppets that live in the same house.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
So is there a reason why they left everyone behind? Like, where's Clifford?
Yeah, well, I mean,
Clifford should have come on the adventure.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
get to this in the screenplay draft stuff, but I think the answer is budget because
Well, yeah. Look,
yeah,
yeah, of course.
I think they would have loved to have many, many more Muppets in this bus, but they just couldn't make it happen.
And this to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like this moment right here, where we've got Kermit, Piggy, Animal, Pepe, Fozzie, and presumably Gonzo and Rizzo, but they're off doing their own thing at the moment. This becomes the core group of Muppets. Like before this, Animal, even though he was absolutely like an audience favorite, didn't have a spotlight. Like in the last few movies, he's in it for like a minute. And he gets like fun moments, and then we forget that Animal ever existed. Um,
Yeah.
and like still sell a ton of Animal merchandise. But here, like Animal is joining the troop, Pepe is joining the troop, and everyone else is like, sorry, Floyd, sorry, Scooter, sorry, Sweetums.
Mm.
All you guys are taking a backseat for the next decade or two because now there's only six Muppets.
Yeah, yeah, and it's interesting too that Animal and Fozzie again are joined by Walter to become the Kermit rescue team in Muppets Most Wanted. Like
Yeah.
of all the
Yeah.
Muppets they could have chosen, it's
And if we're
Animal
talking
again.
about budget, like why do we keep picking all these characters that are performed by the same guy? Like there are
Yeah, yeah,
three Frank Oz characters in that bus,
that's
and
true.
when they talk, you can tell that they're lip syncing. Like you could tell, like when
Yeah.
Animal's like Gonzo, Gonzo, there is no life behind those eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's another reason Fozzie seems so awkward in
Yeah,
this moment.
yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's dubbed.
Yeah. So then
You
there's
can't
a
even
cut.
sing.
There you go.
Thank you.
There's a cut to Bunsen and Beaker standing outside a gas station. We hear the cry of a red-tailed hawk, which is a
Hey, love
very
to hear it.
frequently heard sound effect in movies, often in a desert setting or just to kind of indicate that somebody's kind of stuck in the middle of nowhere.
It's not an eagle. People think it's an eagle sometimes. It's not.
Right. And often in movies, they will show an eagle flying and they'll play that sound effect of a red-tailed hawk.
Huh. I'm learning this for the first time. I never knew anything about that.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. It's great.
Bunsen is holding an armful of snacks and he turns to Beaker and says, Cheese Twiddle?
Cheese Twiddle is a great fake snack name.
That's exactly what I wrote
It's
down. This is a
because it's
great
nonsense.
fake name
It
for a snack.
doesn't quite sound like anything that actually exists. And it sounds like twiddle bugs.
Except for the fact that he's clearly holding a bag of Fritos and a bag of Cheetos, among other things.
Yeah, that's weird that he has brand name snacks in his arms and
Yeah.
then says the name of a fake snack.
From what I can tell, I tried really hard. I paused and really zoomed into what he's holding. So he definitely has Fritos and Cheetos. And like also like whatever cheese twiddle, like that's what he calls Cheetos. Like people call them like cheesy poofs or whatever.
Well, and
It's like yeah,
Cheese
you just have
Doodle
names
is a
for stuff.
brand.
Right?
So I
Yeah.
think that might be what inspired it.
He's also holding what looks like a burrito and what looks like cotton candy, like the cotton candy in a plastic bag that you would buy at a
Huh.
store, not from a cotton candy machine, and something called, I think, Best Bar. It's like a white package with red lettering. It says Best Bar on it twice.
Huh.
And I tried to do some deep dive to like figure out what was Best Bar, is like there's a part of a longer name. I came up with absolutely nothing. So if anyone knows, I'm very curious what
It's
Bunsen bought.
it's like
Does it
a Mr. Goodbar, but even better.
a
It's
knockoff Mr.
It's Mr.
Goodbar?
Best Bar.
Does it look
Dr.
like it would
Goodbar.
be a candy bar?
Dr.
No,
Best
it
Bar.
doesn't. I think if I had to guess, I would say it's like a meat bar, like a
Yeah, I was wondering
what
if
do you
it could
call
be
it? Like a
like
Slim
best
Jim, but like a
barbecue,
bigger. Yeah.
best
Oh yeah, like
barbecued
barbecue.
beef jerky stick.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Huh.
Not a clue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Congratulations, you did it. World's best barbecue beef stick or whatever you
Yes.
just.
Great.
So there's some other stuff in this shot. It's such a weird, like, first of all, I want to say I do love the joke that they left Bunsen and Beaker behind.
Yes.
I think it's very funny, and like a good example of like, look, if they're gonna have to cull the characters down for budget or story purposes, then like, yeah, make a joke out of it. They're like, well, Bunsen and Beaker
Mm.
were supposed to be here, but
Yeah.
oops. But in the background of the scene, so first we see on the left there's an old school phone booth, which I don't know why it's there because like I guess they could have called, like they don't have cell phones in '99, do they? Um, yeah,
Some
they could. I
people
was thinking
did.
like, oh, is there like a car phone or a cell phone that they could have called to be like, can you guys just
Yeah.
turn around and come back? I don't know why they showed a phone in that scene. There's also one of those racks of oil cans, like in The Jerk,
Oh yeah.
and I think it would have been really cool if Steve Martin showed up as Nathan
Oh, from that
Johnson.
other Muppet movie.
He hates
Yes,
those
or the other Muppet
cans.
movie. Yeah.
It would have been good if M. Emmett Walsh had just shot them.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Actually, I could see that happening where Emmett Walsh is shooting at them, and then Beaker has some crazy like running around doing Beaker things.
Another actor who would have been good as General Left.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
That's true.
Um,
Yeah.
So then there's also these gas pumps that are right behind them, and
Yeah.
there's a big green sign that says gasoline. And I was like, I don't know, I'm curious. I'm gonna do some research to see if I can find any history on it. And all I found was so these are gas pump globes. And these days, people buy them like they're collectibles. People use them for decoration. I think people remake them nowadays, like new ones that are like vintage style.
Hmm.
Um, and the original gas globes were used because back in the time that they were made, between the 1900s, early 1900s and the 1960s, streetlights weren't as common. So if you were driving at
Oh,
night and you need to stop for gas, you would keep an eye out for the gas pump globes.
you do see
Um,
that in old black and white movies
yeah,
where they're
exactly.
lit
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
This, I tried to see any history about this specific design, and it was just really a generic, like it's not a brand of gasoline, it's just a generic, like white text on green background.
Hmm.
But it is one of the more common ones that people collect or recreate for collectibles.
Oh,
So
cool.
not that interesting,
Hmm.
but true.
But
Yeah.
no, it was
Well,
good. It
I
was
thought it
good.
was interesting that we see the gas pump and the oil cans in the phone booth, but we don't actually see the building behind them. Like we don't see the convenience store where they just bought these snacks. So I wonder if they just weren't actually filming at a real gas station and they brought in these other things, or yeah, I don't know what the deal
That would
is
be
with
my
that.
guess. Well, especially because like a real gas station would have like it's Sunoco. It's
Yes.
BP, or like it's got ads for cigarettes on every pump or whatever. So like you would have to
Yeah.
recreate something.
Yeah. Also, a phone booth at an isolated gas station makes me think of the Steven Spielberg movie Duel, where there's a
Oh,
scene where the protagonist is stops at a phone booth and almost gets hit by the giant truck that's chasing him.
Yeah.
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 That's a good comp. Good
Yeah.
comp.
I wanted to ask, have either of you ever gotten left behind at in a moment like this?
No, that's terrifying. When I was a kid, I was like terrified of that
But it
happening.
never happened.
I was always so worried I was going to be left somewhere. If
Yeah.
I was separated from my like both parents for like 5 minutes, I would just be like, maybe they left. And like even now as an adult, if I'm separated from my family, I will pat my car keys in reassurance that I'm the one who is driving and
Yeah.
I can't be left behind. Like,
Yeah. That's
Um,
understandable.
my whole family was raptured, so I was left behind.
Oh no, wait, when did this happen?
Yeah. Yeah, it was back in that Kirk Cameron movie.
Oh man.
Yeah, it happens. It's
I
all
it
right.
happened one time when I was maybe 5 years old. My parents left me at church after the church service. Because they had come in two cars and each of them thought that the other one had me and had brought me home. But so I was just happily playing with toys in the church nursery, and my dad came running in, like to, he was looking very concerned, but I was just like, oh yeah, hi, I'm just playing with toys. So
Yeah.
I had no idea that I was supposed to have been in danger.
We're also like, I think a lot of people who are younger than us can't really relate to this, but for me at least, I'll say, I was a little bit more of a latchkey kid, so it was kind of common to just be left to our own devices, even though we were way too
Yeah,
young.
it was more
So
more
yeah,
normal. Yeah.
right, yeah. So like parents, I mean, it was less about like leaving the kid at the gas station as much as it was like, I don't know, kids go outside, we'll see you in like 5 hours, and the parents
Yeah,
are off doing whatever they need to do.
right.
I don't think it was that uncommon
Sure.
in that regard. Yeah.
Yeah, it would not have been as scary as it might seem now.
Right.
So, speaking of scary things, back in the medical lab, all the rats are gathered together under a lamp. Their legs are all chained together. Rizzo says, "What is this, movie time or something?" But no, unfortunately, they're not here to watch The War with Grandpa. Somebody switches on the lamp, briefly blinding all the rats. And this person who has just turned on the lamp says, "So you're the new guy." This is David Arquette
it sure is.
as
David Cox Arquette.
yes, as Dr. Tucker. Now, who is David Arquette?
Who is David Arquette?
He was in every Scream movie. I say that's what he's best known for, right?
Yeah, on IMDb, his four known for movies are Scream, Scream 2, Scream 3, and Never Been Kissed.
Yeah, he's Drew Barrymore's brother in Never Been Kissed. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's my favorite Scream movie.
that's the other one. Drew Barrymore from Scream,
Oh
and
yeah.
we'll be seeing him again before too long in the Muppets filmography. He's in It's a very Arquette straw boater hat Christmas movie,
That's true.
which we're gonna be doing 2 seconds at a time. I decided 1 second was
Oh, I
a
thought we were doing
little
it
a
two
little too
frames at a
close.
time.
We're doing
Oh
it two
God.
frames at a
Y'all are
time.
killing me.
Imagine.
But
No, we're not.
We can't even get through the title,
We
let
have
alone
we
two
no,
frames at a
it's
time.
listeners have asked, and I think we've said this on the show, but we're gonna say it again. We're gonna do a a bonus episode on that movie. We are
Good, great.
not going to cover it 2 minutes at a time. We have
correct.
neither of us have any interest in doing that.
And also, if you are interested in hearing something now, over on the Muppet Fan Podcasts with Topics.com podcast feed, I did an episode of The Worst of the Muppets about the Very Merry Muppet Christmas. What's
Yes.
it's called? And we can talk about how
Was
bad it is.
Yeah,
So
I can
was
link to
Sarah
that
was
in the
that
show
was that one
notes.
with Sarah? It was, right?
yeah, that one was with my wife Sarah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was great. I love that. But David Arquette, I wanted to say about him, he is or was at least at the time like a genuine Muppet fan and
Sure.
seemed so thrilled to be in this movie and the TV movie a few years later. He did press junket interviews with Kermit and Piggy for this movie and Gonzo. Most notably, there is AM Northwest, a local show in Portland, Oregon. A little girl named Annie Hunt, a 9-year-old girl, interviewed Kermit, Piggy, Gonzo, and David Arquette
Oh yeah,
about
yeah.
this movie. And that clip is on Muppet Wiki. And he seems so thrilled to be there, to be included in this little girl interviews the Muppets, piece. So I don't think much of him in this movie. I think he's pretty terrible, frankly. But
Yeah,
I think
he's
it's charming that he liked it so much.
well, it's weird. Like as with Rob Schneider, he seems to weirdly be underplaying it. Like this should be kind of an over the top kind of mad scientist or even just like a mean prison warden kind of character, but he's not really
Right. And
giving it that much.
he plays it like a twerp. Like he
Yeah.
he plays it like an annoying eighth grader who's like doing a like an intimidating voice, and all the other kids are like, "Shut up, you're a twerp."
Yeah. Right.
Like it's very like, you'll all spend some time in the maze. And it's
Yeah.
like that's cool. You're like a guest villain on Zack and Cody. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, so I don't mind that there are people in this world, celebrities in this world, who are such big Muppet fans that they eventually get to work with the Muppets. I do appreciate that enthusiasm. And as a Muppet fan, if I was a celebrity, I would hope that would happen for me. I could see that chain of events. So, okay, great. He's a big Muppet fan. He got to do this, but it feels like if this was in the age of social media, that this was the kind of role where it's like, look, if we cast David Arquette in anything in this movie, he's going to post about it to his 9 million followers,
Right.
and that's worth putting him in the movie to begin with. See also all those weirdo celebrities in Muppet Haunted Mansion.
That's the only reason a
Yeah,
lot of those
right.
cameos are in Muppets Haunted Mansion. Yeah.
Exactly. But I'll also say that there's probably a better role, and if we sit here and think about it for a minute, maybe we can think of one that's in this movie that would have been better for him. Like maybe the Rob Schneider role would have been much
Yeah,
better for
yeah,
him.
sure.
But he is so terribly miscast. Like, and I kind of can't even fault him for it. He's just like, this is
Yeah.
not the type that they should have put in this role. Like you said, like
No,
it should
right.
have been a prison warden. It should have been someone who could play a little bit more like a sadist, or someone who's just like really evil and cruel. And instead, he's just like some guy. He might as well have been that scientist that we saw in the last scene that was just like,
Yeah.
outside of the rat cage, just looking at a clipboard.
Yeah.
Right.
Even just somebody with wackier comic energy, like Will Ferrell would have really put a lot into this character.
Yeah. Well, you know who I think would be ideal and probably I feel like was achievable in 1999. Christopher Walken.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
Just like a weird freak yelling at the
Yeah.
rats. I think he would have loved it. And I think
Sure.
I don't know. I think that's the energy you want, like someone who actually seems weird but also menacing. I don't know.
Yeah. I could see that.
I think they should have gotten the warden from Shawshank Redemption.
Bob Gunton.
Yeah, get Bob Gunton in there.
We call him Egon's ghost. Famous Egon's ghost actor Bob Gunton. Did you
You
know
know what they
that?
should have
He did
done
all
is
the
they should
motion
have
capture for Egon's ghost.
yes they should have gotten
Uh,
Bob
Why did
Gunn
they
and
cast
then
a real actor and
CG.
put Harold
They
Ramis's
should have
face over it?
CG'd Egon's face over this David Arquette character.
Yeah.
Done. We fixed
But
it.
yeah, you could have Bob Gunton in this. He would have been great.
oh, yeah,
Yeah,
he
what
would have
else
been
was he
good.
doing? Yeah.
He was in all kinds of. I mean, he's always
Oh, sure,
working.
he's a character actor.
He was
Yeah.
like he was
Works all
like
the time.
on Voyager around this time. Like whatever. Like,
Sure. He was busy in Vancouver. That's why he couldn't be there.
yeah, right.
Sure.
Is that where they filmed that? I don't know.
I think that one was still L.A. I think.
Ah.
I think that's the last one in L.A. But I'm not certain.
It matters.
So Muppet Wiki also says about David Arquette. In 2002, he appeared at the unveiling of Kermit the Frog star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in a green suit. That's cool.
That's right.
And he later appeared with Paul Rubens in the unaired pilot of America's Next Muppet. That was
Oh yeah.
their reality competition spoof that didn't get picked up, but that would be fun to see. Any other David Arquette thoughts before we move on?
I'm sure he's a real nice guy. He seems like a nice guy.
He does seem like a nice guy.
We actually just talked about one of his other credits on the podcast a couple weeks ago. It was Ready to Rumble.
Oh,
Our
yeah,
guest Justin Osley mentioned it.
yeah, he was into wrestling for a little while.
Yeah. I remember him doing that like after like this Muppet fascination where he was in this world, and then he was like, I'm gonna go and like he was like making movies about wrestling, and I think he was in wrestling stuff.
Yeah.
And then did he do something with the banana splits? Am I making that up?
Oh, I don't
Some
know.
sort of HR Puffin stuff thing.
Oh,
I don't
probably.
know. There was some Sid and Marty Krofft project that he worked on.
I don't know, but
that.
I would believe it.
That he was just like, I'm just a fan and I'm just gonna do this thing. Which is again why I think like, oh, he's probably a nice guy. 'Cause
Sure.
he's just like, I just like stuff and I just want to make stuff that I like.
Yeah.
With the Muppets, wrestling, HR Puffin stuff,
see.
whatever it was.
He was in.
Am I wrong,
he was
Anthony?
I'm looking it up. He was in 3,000 Miles to Graceland.
Sure was. Add to list, Cam.
Yeah.
I don't think that
He
was
was in
Sid and Marty
Eight-Legged
Krofft.
Freaks. Add it to the list.
Eight-legged freaks.
I saw that in the theater.
Oh yeah, he was in a Sigmund and the Sea Monsters reboot on Amazon Prime.
Oh,
in
my
2016.
my smart TV keeps trying to get me to watch that. It's like on that For You menu on the home menu of my smart TV.
It
Maybe I
knows.
should
It
watch
knows
it
that
for
you're a
David
really
Arquette.
big David Arquette fan.
Yeah, I mean, I like him in Scream. He's good in those.
I've never screamed. I've never seen I've never seen a scream, let alone many, to necessitate a whole rack.
I've
Well,
only seen the first one.
you should
That's
see
enough.
I was gonna say, Anthony, you should see the first one. Maybe I know you're not like into horror very much at all, but
It is
Yeah.
a movie about movies.
right, it's
the
clever.
end.
Right, but I didn't like that. I didn't like that Cabin in the Woods movie as much as you guys did either.
Oh,
So
yeah. Well,
Yeah, that's a movie about movies in a very different way.
yeah, that's different. So David Arquette says to Rizzo, from this moment on, if I say you're hungry, you eat. If I say you're sleepy, and Rizzo interrupts, I eat.
Oh, he likes food.
Rizzo
Yeah,
Rizzo
he's
likes
such a-
food.
He's an eat boy.
food.
Yeah, he does.
He is
Yeah.
an eat boy. We love to
He's
see it.
gromping. He's chomping.
He's grumping. Bring us something to
Chomping.
grump on.
Yeah.
At this, Dr. Tucker drops his clipboard. He's annoyed, and he says, well, 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 we got a funny boy here. Rizzo asks Bubba if this is bad. Bubba says it's very bad. David Arquette says, funny boy is going to do some time in the maze, and so he won't get lonely. They're all going to do some time in the maze. And then during this exchange, he puts Rizzo's hat back on his head. So somewhere in this
Nice one.
process, David
Continuity.
Arquette ended up with Rizzo's hat. Yeah. All the rats groan. He goes on, no one's ever escaped from the maze, funny boy. And even if you did, it's 4 feet to the ground, 12 feet to the door, and 4 feet to the doorknob.
I like
Rizzo
that.
says, yeah.
I think that's funny. I do.
And again, this sounds like, prison warden threatening the inmates talk.
Even though, like in the Muppet universe, Rizzo is constantly hovering 4 feet
Yeah,
above the ground.
that never stops him. Yeah.
Yep.
He says, Rizzo says, that's 18 feet, and Bubba corrects him, that's 20. Dr. Tucker says, funny thing about doorknobs, rats can't turn them. No opposable thumbs, which is funny because these rats all clearly have opposable thumbs. They're all grasping objects and
I mean,
lifting weights and
Ryan,
playing harmonicas.
crazy theory here, but I think he's a bad scientist.
Oh, he just doesn't know the difference between a Muppet rat and a real rat.
I think he's just bad at his job. Yeah.
Sure.
You've heard of mad scientists. What about a bad scientist?
Ooh,
You got him.
yeah.
Zing.
I think he also hasn't seen Jurassic Park because Velociraptors open doors in that movie. So if they can do it, why not talking
Why
rats?
not a rat? Yeah. Hey, I have a question for you guys. Um,
Yes.
what the hell are they doing at Covenant? Like, what is I thought they were like a government spy
Well,
organization, but they're also testing rats? I don't understand. They're like, we also got to
yeah.
figure out this caffeine pill. What are you guys doing?
And maybe this is why they never tell us what CovNet stands for, because it's just like an all-purpose government agency. They do all kinds of stuff, I guess. Maybe they also regulate traffic. I don't know. But yes, that's a very good question. Why are they doing this stuff in the same building where they're monitoring extraterrestrial life?
It seems like Covenant exists for torture, which would make
Yeah.
like that actually makes sense. Like this is where it's like, oh, we captured some like like Al Qaeda spy, and we're gonna torture him to figure out what he know. Like then you take him
Hmm.
to Covenant, sure.
Yeah. The T could
Uh,
stand for torture.
the T stands for torture, like the
Yeah.
song says. Um, but that's what they're doing to Gonzo in this scene, and that's what they're doing to Rizzo in this scene. They're just torturing them both.
Yeah. Yeah. Bad news. That's all I have for these 2 minutes. I will ask the two of you if you have anything else, but I want to get to the screenplay draft stuff. In the 2/27/1997 draft, the Muppets do not drive the Electric Mayhem bus to Covenant. They are riding in John and Barbara Mallet's station wagon. Listeners may remember John and Barbara Mallet are the Muppets' neighbors who believe that Gonzo is an alien and they want to help him. In the draft, it says John is driving, Barbara is in the front seat, and quote, the car is stuffed with Muppets. That's in all caps, stuffed with Muppets. This includes chickens, rats, monsters, and pigs. And it says the band members are hanging out the open rear window of the station wagon. An animal is running behind the car, his chain attached to the rear bumper.
I would have loved to have seen that.
That would be
Yeah,
fun
that
to
would have been
see.
good. That would have been good.
Yeah. So as we were alluding to earlier, I'm pretty sure, everyone involved in this movie would have loved to make that version happen, but I assume it was just budget. They just couldn't get all those puppets and all those puppeteers
They couldn't afford that station wagon.
in the station wagon. They would have had to buy a station wagon. Well, and speaking of which, by the time of the 5/26/1998 draft, the Mallets no longer have a station wagon. They have a minivan. I don't know if
That
this
makes
is,
sense for 1999, by
well,
the way.
maybe this is
Yeah.
why, yeah, because station wagons were not quite as, they had kind of gone out of fashion by the 90s, the late 90s. In this one, there's a scene where they're driving and Fozzie asks when they're going to get there to their destination. John says, if only we hadn't run out of gas. I always forget to look at that little needle thing. Kermit says, it's all right, John. None of us minded the 8-mile walk back to the gas station. Pepe says, loved the hot sun, loved the rattlesnake family. I kind of like that.
I don't know. It's
Eh,
weird. It certainly is
it's
weird.
fine.
Yeah. I guess making a human character the dumb one instead of a Muppet is interesting to me. He always forgets to look at that little needle thingy.
I think it depends on Anthony. Who did you cast as
Well,
these people? Did you cast
well,
them?
I had said Matthew Perry and Jenna Elfman.
I
Yeah,
could
okay.
definitely imagine Matthew Perry doing that line.
I don't know. I'm not convinced. I think that was a good cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean,
Also,
there's no
like
John and
this is
Barbara
the
in
kind of thing
this,
where
so
like let's get them to Covenant as fast as possible. Why are we wasting time? You know, that kind of thing. It's like
yeah.
don't stop with the shtick. You get one scene with them in the car, and then we're there. Move on.
Yeah, and I guess also from a practical storytelling point of view, if all of these Muppets are not going to be breaking into Covenant, they don't really need to be in the car.
Uh,
Although, again, in Great Muppet Caper, they don't all go into the Dubonnet Club, but they're all in the bus there. So
Yeah. There could have been another thing for them to do outside. They could have all been there to distract Ray Liotta with like
Yeah,
put on a. I think he should have put on like the Muppet Show outside of Covenant,
that would have been
and
funny.
then the
Yeah.
guards will go outside to watch the Muppet Show. That's what I would do if I was a guard at Covenant.
Yeah, and then they have
It
to
would have worked.
very, very quickly like take it all down and pack it in the car and drive away when they're leaving. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been fun. So yeah, that's all I have from the draft. So anything else from these 2 minutes, Joe, starting with you.
No, I'm good. I think I
Okay.
said everything I need to say. You can just leave me at the gas station. I'm fine.
Okay. Enjoy your cheese twiddles. Anthony, anything?
No, no, no. I'm done.
Okay. Um, so yeah, I guess that's it then. We will wrap things up for this week.
As always, we want to thank Morgan Davy for our show's logo and Jordan Brandon for our theme song. Listeners, you can find Tough Pigs on the internet at toughpigs.com. We are all over social media as well as TeePublic and Patreon. You can email us at movinrightalong@gmail.com. You can and should chat with other Muppet nerds on the Tough Pigs Discord server. Anthony is on Blue Sky at Durwood Clapper. I'm on Blue Sky at Me Ryan Rowe. Anthony is on Letterboxd at Zeppo Marxist, and I'm on Letterboxd at Movies Are Neat.
Joe, thanks once again for joining us for this ridiculous podcast.
It is my pleasure. You know, I love this podcast dearly. It's my favorite podcast. And I just love hanging out with buddies.
Yeah, thanks.
Like we're just a bunch of rats in about to do the maze together.
We're just a bunch of rats. And where can people find you or your stuff on the internet?
Besides the maze,
Yes.
you could find me on Letterboxd at Tough Pigs Joe. You could find me on Substack at Joe Consumes Media. And you could find me all over toughpigs.com and on the Tough Pigs socials. That's what I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah,
That's
the
where I'm at.
listeners should do all of those things. It's
All
all
of
great
them.
stuff.
Thank you.
And they should also tell all their friends and mad scientists and fellow rats to listen to the show. And they should join us next week for another episode of Moving Right Along. Goodbye.
Ryan, I love the way you take charge or whatever. I love it when you take charge. That's what I meant.